Next up, a University of Michigan theater graduate turns his experience with a life-threatening illness into a new creative outlet for himself, as well as a way to help others facing the same intimidating journey. Here is my friend Alex Kip and his play, My Other Voice.
Alex, you have cancer.
Every once in a while, you're in it, and you're going over the lines, and then you realize that this moment actually happened.
We need to start him on a regimen of RCHOP right away.
Okay, English,
What's
please.
that?
RCHOP's an acronym for rituximab, cyclophosphamide.
Cliff notes, please!
It's chemotherapy.
This isn't some abstract play written 100 years ago. This happened a few years ago. The person it happened to is the author and in the room.
We don't have much time. The tumor's growing. We need to start the steroids tonight and chemo in 2 days.
Where he's very interested in telling a powerful story.
We want to move you to the cancer wing tonight. Do you have any questions?
No.
I'm scared. We're going to take good care of you.
He explains the story very well, but also brings in hope for everyone. I mean, it's not just a story of cancer that's really depressing. At the end of the day, it's really hopeful and exciting.
Days will come when you don't have the strength, and all you feel is you're not worth anything.
Well, I've been doing theater since I was really young. It started in church, actually. Ever since then, I pretty much have always been doing it. I never expected to write a play.
I don't even know who said it first. He sort of said, I want to write a play, and I said, you should write a play. And so it sort of started there, and he started bringing in scenes, and we started reading them, and it's been a really kind of amazing evolution.
So I ended up going to the University of Michigan, and I studied musical theater there. So everyone's plan after graduation is to sort of hit New York, you know, full force. We do this big showcase where we sing in front of all these agents. So my senior year, this big year when you're supposed to get ready for the showcase and all this stuff, and you're singing all the time, but my voice was like completely failing. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it in the world. This lovely feeling of well-being, what you're seeing. Obviously, you can't be singing in front of all these agents in New York City. So that's when we got some more tests, and they found this big cloud, this dark cloud in my chest, and then they examined it more and realized it was a tumor, and then from there realized it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Don't get worked up about it, just relax. We'll be back soon.
And the expectation early on was, you know, this is very treatable. We've seen a lot of people do really, really well on this treatment. You know, we're gonna do 6 rounds of chemotherapy. It's gonna be about 6 months. After that, you should be totally fine. We don't know if your voice will come back. Hopefully it will. But you should be, you know, clear and good to go.
I thought you said the pills were working.
No, they're not working.
Alex, you have to let me know when things aren't working.
I didn't want to freak you out. And then, you know, the 6 months rolls around, and at first they say, okay, everything's good, we're great. And then 2 weeks later I get a call, and they're like, actually, we found something that we missed, and you need to come back, and actually we need to do a stem cell transplant now, which is when it really shifted for me, because then it was like really, really much more dramatic and much more life-threatening.
We're basically rebooting his system. It's like hitting a restart button. We drain out the cancer, we put in healthy new stem cells, and they begin to reproduce and make new blood cells.
And the thing about Alex is what I just appreciate him, even as I've gotten to know him more, is that he's a fighter, that he, you know, wasn't going to go down without a fight, no matter what news he was going to get, and he was going to live the life that he knew that he was created to live.
Oh my God, what's going on?
What did you do to him?
Relax, I'm just kidding.
There are scenes in the play that he didn't actually see. One of the things that happened was realizing that people protected him from certain aspects of their experience, and yet wanting to honor those characters and go more deeply into that. So, for example, there's a moment where his mother really falls apart with his sister. There's a moment where his dad really falls apart with his best friend.
You think it's easy watching my best friend die? God, he's not dying!
You know, we know how it ends, but, you know, when you're preparing a play, you want to make sure that the audience goes on that journey with you.
It's like they're in the hospital room, right? They're dealing with this. It's like their son. It's like their dad. You know, they feel like they're a part of this family.
You're not gonna die, okay?
Well, I think one of the things that's inspired me throughout this process is how honest Alex is in the telling of his story and how generous. And I think when telling an autobiographical story, there's an impulse sometimes to make oneself seem a certain way. And he's been absolutely egoless in terms of letting go of any sense of how he might want to seem in order to tell the greater story, and to think about how that story might serve patients and physicians and families and just the larger world.
This is seriously torture. I don't even care anymore, okay? Oh, Mr. Kip, it could be a serious infection. It could be a collapsed lung. It could be a strain of a virus that's killing innocent small children. You know, because obviously it's based off my experience, but it's not word for word. Some of these characters are a combination of characters. Some of these characters didn't exist. So it's sort of like creating a world in which you can rectify what happened to show that there are really, you know, people who go through this, it can be a really debilitating thing, but it can also be a life-changing thing for the better. You know, I mean, in this play, the character changes into a better person regardless if he lives or dies.
We are treasured, we are sacred, we are blessed.
Like, I feel like this is a play about cancer, but it's also a play about growing up, and a play about sort of having a different kind of wisdom about your role in the world and what truly matters.
At the end, it brings everyone up, and I think it shows me, especially even being in it, what kind of person I want to be at the end of the day.
We are treasured, we are sacred, we are blessed.
And that wraps it up for this edition of Detroit Performs. As always, for more arts and culture, head to DetroitPerforms.org, where you'll find featured videos, blogs, and information on coming arts events. Also, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. I'd like to thank the Majeski Gallery for letting us tour their exhibition here today. Until next Tuesday, get out there and show the world how Detroit performs, y'all. I'm DJ Oliver. Thanks for watching, guys.